Amanda yearned to dive back under the covers with Chloe, but she couldn't until the man left. No drinking water, no toilets. She studied her daughter, who had gone quiet. That worried Amanda. Chloe always chattered nonstop, falling silent only when she was asleep. Was the child getting hypothermic even as Amanda studied her? Panic rolled over Amanda. She couldn't think what to do. Her brain felt as frozen as the water on the kitchen floor. Eyes dull, Chloe stared at Amanda. Present physically, but disconnected mentally. Amanda felt the same way. She flinched when the front door opened behind her. Her feet had gone numb in the damp socks, and she couldn't trust her balance as she turned to face the man. He stood well over 6 feet tall and looked huge in a tan jacket almost the same tawny color as his hair, cut short and lying in lazy waves over his forehead. Chiseled features, a strong jaw, and hazel eyes. Standing with his feet spread and his knees locked, he exuded strength. She'd been on the receiving end of male strength often enough to be wary, no matter what his neighbor lady said. "I don't want to be rude and ask personal questions," he began, "but this is a situation that leaves me no choice. Do you have a relative or friend in the area who has a non-electric source of heat that you can bunk with until the power is restored?" Amanda's mind got stuck on non-electric. She stared up at him, trying to think, but her gray matter seemed to be misfiring. "Pardon?" His gaze sharpened on her face as he repeated himself. This time Amanda heard his question, but it took her a moment to answer. "No. I'm new to Mystic Creek, and I have no family here." He sighed. "Well, ma'am." He frowned. "I'm sorry, I don't recall your name." "Amanda Banning." "At least I remember that." "Well, Ms. Banning, I've got to get you out of here to some place with heat. You and your little girl can't stay here." He planted his fists on his hips, letting her know that he didn't plan to take no for an answer. "If you have no friends or family in town, your only option is to stay at a motel or B&B with a backup generator." Amanda couldn't afford a motel room, not even for one night. She and Chloe would have to find another rental unless her landlord responded to her calls and paid for repairs. This house was no longer livable. "I don't have the money for a motel." Amanda's voice sounded hollow even to her. "I'm sure some shelters have been set up. A lot of people have no heat, and churches with backup power have probably opened their doors. I can call the local authorities to find out where you might go." Amanda's heart skipped a beat. "Authorities?" "The sheriff's department," he explained. Amanda wanted nothing to do with cops. What if the shelter made the television news and Mark saw her or Chloe's face? No, no, no. "I don't think that's a good plan," was all she could think to say. Jeb studied Amanda Banning in bewilderment. She'd referred to herself as being stupid in some of the notes, and right then he couldn't argue the point. She didn't seem to be tracking. He shifted his gaze to her hands, which were blue with cold. Maybe her body temp had dropped too low. He glanced at the little girl and noted that her expression had gone blank. No way could he leave them here. Absolutely no way. "You can't stay here tonight. If you can't afford a motel, I'll lend you some money." She shook her head. "I can't accept a loan. I may not be able to pay it back." Jeb hesitated, then decided to jump in with both feet. "My home is large, and I have a backup generator, so you and your daughter will be warm there." When her eyes widened, he added, "And you'll be safe as well. In Mystic Creek, neighbors help each other out. Myrna, the lady you spoke to on the phone, lives right across the road. Her husband, Tony, is a nice fellow. It would be good for you to get to know them. Then you'd have at least 3 friends in town, including me. What do you say?" She shook her head again. "You may be my neighbor, but you're also a total stranger. I can't even remember your name." "Sterling. Jeb Sterling." He considered putting her and the child up in a motel despite her objections. He could leave her